Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video, and that is the Jegan, which, yeah, new suit we got. Part of the new Spring Festival update we're getting, and I think you got like a free tin roll, and of course I get shit. Uh, Actually, you know what? It gave me the Uma Lightning 550 cost, which is what I based the Aqua Vengeance on. Uh, the kind of bluish green colored Gelgoog that I made. But yeah, the Jegan here. Not really much of a interesting suit. I mean, there's some stuff about it that's pretty cool, but it's essentially just a pretty basic GM like suit. But we'll go ahead and talk about with some stats here. I actually have the 550 version of it, the level 2. The level 1, 500. I'll get the stats for that. It has 14,000 HP, 18 ballistic, beam, and melee resistance, 30 range, 25 melee strength. I guess the boost speed is worth talking about. It's got 215 boost speed, so it's pretty speedy. And turn speed's kind of decent, so I guess I'll say 66 turn speed. And it has space capability, so it's better in space, so it'll be like 70 something. The slots, you got 11 close range slots, 14 mid range slots, and 11 long range slots. And yeah, we said this is a simple suit, so you only have very few, well, not very few weapons, but very basic weapons. You have the Jegan beam rifle, which does 1800 damage. You get 6 rounds as an E-Pack and 350 range. You have the Beam Saber, which does 2,000 power, 2,000 damage. And yeah, it's got your basic Federation moveset on it. Downswing is the Federation downswing. So that's pretty good. For secondary weapons, it has the... for some reason, it's called the BP system, the Jegan BP system, but I think they meant to put in... VP for Vulcan Pod, but it's the BP system, so it's got 90 power, 60 rounds, and 180 range. And then it has the hand grenades, which are actually pretty powerful. They do 2,100 damage, and you get 3 of them. They have 150 range, but you know they're grenades, so you can toss them further. And then you have the Shield Twin Missile Launcher, which is 500 damage, and you have 4 rounds, 350 range. And yeah, I'll say that the... I'll get into it when I explain some of the positives and negatives about the suit. Skills, you got Quick Boost, you got Dodge Roll, you got Flight Control, which is nice, and some gliding ability, Glide level 3, so you can fall down slower. You got Balancers... you got Melee Combo Controller level 1, Force Injector level 2, you got some radar stuff. You got Frontline Support, which is pretty good. You can team up with some other Jegans. And then you got some cushioning in your back binders there. So overall, this suit's about as basic as they can get. Pretty much your typical GM suit. Its stats are, it's actually kind of a little bit more defense on it than the Mark II F500. I believe they share the same health, but it has a little bit more resistances, which they're all tied, 18 on everything. Since I have the level 2, I believe that's 20 on everything, which you can kind of make it a little bit tanky. You can get it to like 40 beam resistance with level 5 beam resistance. Get 30 ballistic resistance if you want to add in more. That's what I did for one of my builds. The other build I put in database link, I believe that was called, the one that lets you do extra damage to parts, so it can work in conjunction with the grenade, because the grenade does a lot of damage, and I believe it does pretty good leg damage as well. So I put some extra, part damaging parts on it. So maybe I can help bust some legs. But yeah, you stun, come in, get some melee, or you can just fire away with your missiles for stun accumulation or your Vulcans. And I'll say, I guess we'll start off with some. I guess I'll start off with negatives first. Because the positives thing has is just it's a very general suit. But for negatives, you have the damage for its primary weapons are kind of low. Like really, actually, just its weapons or damage is really low. The grenades are fine, because I think that's one of the higher damaging grenades. But 2,000 for your melee damage and 1,800 for your or 1,800 for your beam rifle is kind of low, especially compared to other suits at this cost. Mark II is a fucking menace for a reason, because it just come in, get your stun off, downswing, and then and because the Jegan can only use the beam rifle, it can make the Mark II a lot more dangerous, because it has you can put the bazooka on it, or a shrapnel bazooka, so you can get more damage off, and then going for your dreaded downswings. The shield missiles, which they're really hard to aim. I think it just might be because of the way it's positioned and how you fire it, but it just feels really awkward to hit. They feel really slow. I believe it's just weird to hit. And it requires 3 of the 4 missiles, at least from what I remember or seen. 3 out of the 4 missiles to actually stun, which okay, maybe you can shoot 2 missiles off and then go for your Vulcans or something. Also, I'm just gonna get naded. That was a pretty good grenade toss by the I assume the enemy Jegan. Yeah, Jegan. Also, this match was also pretty weird, because me, Zero, and Hitman were doing a 3-man to boost up our rival wins for the new suit that's coming, or the one that you can unlock in the missions. And then Stefan was also looking for a match, and we ended up meeting with him, and we were voice chatting and coordinating. That's one of the strengths for this suit, is that since it's such a very basic kind of general, it works really well for a front line. You can have it zip in, get a stun off, do some more range damage while your team is doing some other stuff. Just a very basic general. But again, the damage is lower than most suits at 500. And then for 550, if you don't have the level 2 part, the level 2 beam saber only adds 100 damage. And the beam rifle, I sadly forgot what the level 2 beam rifle does, or add damage-wise, but yeah, not a whole lot of damage. It doesn't really keep up damage-wise with a lot of suits at 500 and 550, especially 550. There's a lot of 550 suits that can kind of just ruin this thing's day. Man, I was about to kill this ace and I got stunned eventually, but damn, that would have been it. Well, I mean, we won pretty handily, but that would have been it for the ace. And yeah, the mission complete. We'll see what we got going on real fast. Oh, nice to meet you. That's different. Zero did pretty good. He just got the Methus, I think, too. And he realized how powerful it is. Even though it got nerfed, it's still a pretty good suit, which is a suit that can trash on the Jegan. And yeah, second place, 3-2, but I did pretty well in some other stats as well, because it is, again, it's a very general, basic suit. Although, even though I said that the damage doesn't really keep up with a lot of suits at 500, 550, I compared it to the Mark II. Like, if you... the devs gave the Mark II away for free a few weeks ago, so everybody has a Mark II, and then they released this suit, which does less damage, and it kind of has similar gameplay to the Mark II. Why would you not just pick the Mark II? You can just come in, just get ridiculous amounts of damage and dip out like a general, and you have better Vulcans, or at least they fire faster and they do more. I think they do more damage, but however, because the Jegan has more weapons, it does lend itself to having more versatility. And like I said, the grenades, they do a lot of leg damage, and that can be really important for some, against some suits, like I guess another Mark II. So I guess it does have a leg up against other suits. But again, I say again, I didn't even mention it, but they are grenades, so they're going to be hard to use. So I guess you can count that as a positive and a negative, that it has high damaging grenades, because they are high damaging and they do a lot of leg part damage. But at the same time, they are grenades and they can be hard to hit in certain circumstances. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the Jegan. It's a decent suit, I'll say that. I'll definitely just be using other suits at 550 that I have. A suit that I see it being compared to is the Gallus J, which the Gallus J pretty much has a similar game plan. It has a instant stun beam rifle, then has melee, two melees really, and one of them does a ridiculous amount of damage with its downswing. And then it also has missiles to follow up with, and you have one that you have stand still for, and one that you can move with to build up stun accumulation. And then you also have Vulcans with your finger Vulcans. So I would definitely use the Gallus J over this thing. And then like we mentioned the Mark II. The Mark II kind of has a similar game plan. You want to stun going for melee, but the Mark II does a lot of damage, so you might want to pick the Mark II. Honestly, this thing feels like a very honest suit. And what I mean by that is it doesn't really have a strong gimmick or just a really dirty move it can do. Like, I guess we mentioned the Gallus J. The Gallus J has that fist downswing, and it does a lot of damage. So you get a stun off, go for your melee, then go in for that downswing, you get a lot of damage off. Or something like the Methus, where if you do your fully charged beam pistol shots, it does ridiculous amounts of damage, especially it almost plays like a support with how much damage it does. I guess if you want to throw in the Kapul for 550 and 500, it has the Dick Laser that does pretty good damage and heavy staggers. And has really good melee damage. Overall, the Jegan is just a very basic suit. But that it can be a good thing. It's just if you're looking for damage, there's other suits available. But if you just want a general suit to work with, this thing's not half bad. You just have to be careful and don't think you're a hero. Although, with that frontline support system, it can make it really useful for a GM team. If you want to do some GM3s and other Jegans. Maybe when the High New Gundam comes out, or the High New, no, that's a different thing altogether. But when the new Gundam comes out, you can have a team of the new Gundam and GM3s and Jegans. Maybe if they have the Re GZ, is that what it's called? You can have a team of those versus the Sazabi and some Gira Dogas and the Jagged Dogas. That'd be a pretty cool team setup, and because they have frontline system, they can help each other out. That'd be neat. Oh man, how would the new Gundam work with its little beam shield? It'd be interesting to see how those suits work in this game. But yeah, with that, that'll be in the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section what you feel about the Jegan. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I like it. It's okay. Although, again, like I said, there's some other generals at the 500, 550 cost that I can do more with. This one's a little bit too, well, it's got some versatility to it. Like if you just now got the game and you didn't get your free Mark II, you can do fine with this. It's pretty good at being a general unit. But for me, I'll probably pick like the Gallus J, even though it's a bigger suit. It pretty much kind of has the same idea going for it, along with the Mark II. Although the grenades are good for this suit, I wish some other suits had some better damaging grenades, But yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.